Getting a few questions from you guys, and I want to give you guys the chance to ask questions here. So for the first 10 minutes, I want to just be answering some of your questions, whichever questions that you have. Right? I want to be answering those. So if anyone have a question, you can ask it right now in the live stream chat. And we will do this until around 6:10 or until you guys run out of questions. Have you secretly been teaching 369 this whole time? Come on now, Mammoth. If that was a secret, would I tell you that I am doing that? Okay, let's just not talk about 369 right now. Let's leave that alone. When we'll be moving into the NDA context. Whenever we sign the NDA, right? NDA content, just basically what will be happening, after this year, throughout your entire time, right? A year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, and I want you guys to remember that after this year, you pay nothing, right? So it will be like we will be a very close community with just us alone, no one outside, no outside noise. So even if it's 2-3 years from now, that there's some opportunity that just pops up within the real estate market, we'll be talking about it. If a nuke drops somewhere 2 years from now, we'll be talking about it, right? And how it affects the marketplace, right? It will just be us alone, right? So even, right, if I decide to have a next batch, which I don't even know if I want to be doing, right? If I even decide to do that, they will not be a part of that. Never, ever, not even 5 years from now. It will just be us, right? And if you choose to leave, then you just, you just you're just gone. You can't, rejoin even after next year. What will be happening next year? Remember, we have been working on, tirelessly. This is something that I've been putting a lot of my time in. The algorithm, but beginning next year, right? I'm planning to, just give you guys like a what I consider that as just a indicator that that I have been working on. So you guys will get access to that. So you'll see, precision swing points, sequential SMT, intermarket sequential SMT, hidden sequential SMT, all of that stuff, and more everything else. The true opens, and most of everything that we have talked about. And of course it has been fine tuned by me, right? Specifically for you guys, right? So no one else will have access to that. And again, as I've said before, no one else will, have the opportunity to, have me talking to them like this, right? Reading your questions. No one else will have that, option. So after this year, no one else can ask me a question. It will just be, you just have to take what you get. And if you complain, I will not pay attention to it. It will not be personal as how it is personal now. And even in next year, yes, we will still, have this, personal level of communication, right? Can you go over precision swing point again? Well, today we'll be referring to the precision swing point, right? And, its role after we have hidden market sequential SMT, right? How was my day? Very busy day, very busy week, very busy month, very busy year so far as well. Hopefully, right after next month, or the month after next month, I won't be as busy as I am, which is, something that I don't want. Doesn't matter, right? If you have, when you have, over these streams of income, you get, you got to be working tirelessly. And, I just don't want to be doing that anymore, right? I definitely don't want to be, just working, just grinding 24 hours a day anymore, especially when you reach a certain level, right? Because it's been like 5-7 years now, just, grinding. And at some point, after 5 years, you just get burnt out. Or are we going to have live stream New York AM? Not this week, but I promise you, right? After I complete my move, then we will be having those. We'll be probably having like 4 live streams per week. And again, that's just for you guys. It's not for anyone else. The transition from 4-hour precision swing point to 1-hour precision swing point entry, while the 4-hour precision swing point is still forming. Not, didn't get that one as clear, really. Pretty not sure if that was a question or a statement. I think it's a statement because I don't see a question mark. Are we going into lower time frames or sticking to news for H1H weekly bias cycles? Eventually, we'll be going into the lower time frames, right? When I have more time to be, spending with you guys. And the company that I work with, they want me to sign this contract with them again to, just renew. Been with them for the last 3 years, and they want to just renew the contract. Yeah, basically that's just what it is. And I'm thinking about just saying no to that, right? Because it's too much meetings every week, busy days, and it's just pretty stressful, right? Just it's like you have someone over you asking you questions. They expect, yeah, they pay you good money, but at the end of the day, it's still a job, right? It's still a job. So yeah, that's where we're at with that. I'll show you this. Yeah, Medic has you guys with that. I saw Medic made a post in the group where you should pay attention to, Medic's posts, which I actually liked myself, right? Which he said something, right? Which is something I believe that I've said before as well. He said that precision swing points, they basically control the market. Basically, that's what it is, right? That's what it is. Every time you have a traffic correlation between candles, and you have precision candles and precision swing points, and we will talk about precision candles as well today, right? But anyways, sometimes you have precision candles, right? And whenever you see those, precision candles aren't a immediate sign of reversal. It's just showing you what could occur in the next 1, 2, 3 candles, right? So usually after you have a formation of a precision candle, right, afterwards, if price, the next candle trades above that, or the next 2 candles trade above that, then you usually have price fall, or vice versa, right? If you're in bullish market conditions. Do you have any recommended brokers? at the end of the day, it depends on your location, right? Because some of you guys, you don't have the brokers that I have over here, right? And I don't have the brokers that you guys have over there. So it's just, just got to do a little bit of research, right? See if, you know of any trader or anyone that publicly, talks about them or, just gets payments from them. At the end of the day, most of them do the same thing, but you want to go for, someone that is licensed, right? Licensed brokers, regulated brokers, right? So yeah. How do the half days like Mondays taken with QT, do they count? This is a very good question. This was something that I was supposed to mention the last time that we went live, but it just slipped me, right? Usually when that occurs, right, when you have half days, right, I usually just, treat Tuesday as if it was Monday, right? And for the half days, obviously, I don't pay much attention to, asset classes that are closed on those days. Because you have some assets that, for example, the crypto market that just runs, it doesn't matter what happens, even if it's Saturday, it's still running, right? But whenever you have an asset like the S&P 500, then we treat Tuesday as Monday and Wednesday as Tuesday, etc. Right? And there are still certain things that we could, even though dive deeper down into, but for time's sake, yeah. And we still have things that we need to talk about. Can you clarify which position can get violated and which will hold in the failure swing? Yeah, we have begun to touch upon those things, within a few of the previous lectures, but eventually we will talk about that, right? But it is based upon sequential SMT, right? If that helps you, hope that it does. So I hope that, I've went over the time, and I hope that we have went into some of the, questions that you guys have, or most of them, right? So here we have Forex Factory. As you guys know, right, this is not something new, right? This is not something new. You already know that this is our, what we look for to, gauge low of the week, high of the week, reversals, expansions, and just volatility. So Monday we had a bank holiday. Immediately after the bank holiday, right? And during the agent session on Tuesday, we had, price drop for the S&P 500, the Nasdaq, and the Dow. Today, right, we didn't see much. Right? We did see something that was, tradable, but that would more than likely be for a scalp, in my opinion, right? So, have we seen the low of the week yet? I don't think so, right? So Tuesday, and of course the, whenever you see, just price dropping like that on Tuesday, right? The way it did, which we will talk about, you would actually want to see pricing return to that range. So tomorrow is Thursday, and we have three high impact news events during the New York session. So you could expect volatility there, of course, and it's same thing for Friday. Expect high impact news events to do some damage during this specific time, which is 8:30, right? Here And we have not looked at the, bond market or the, talking about them overall, the interest rate chart in a while. Here, right, you can see that we had price just expanding. But, right, this is just to show you guys, the relationship between the interest rate chart and the futures chart, right? So here, you can see that we had, first of all, on Tuesday, we had the bond market, the 10-year note and the 5-year note expanded upwards, while we had the futures triad just falling, all of them, right? If you guys remember what I spoke about last week, or what I introduced to you, how to know when we will have decoupling, how to know when we will have one asset class going in the opposite direction of the other, right? Like when you will have the dollar index, just going upwards along with the futures chart, when you will have the euro going in the opposite direction of the S&P 500, right? And this is how, right? And this is just another example. Here we had a failure swing, right, between all three of these assets, right? Remember, there's a failure swing between all three of these assets. So price failed on Tuesday. Price failed to fall below Monday's low. And Tuesday, price failed to fall below Monday's low here as well. And the same thing occurred here, right? So we had symmetrical failure swings, across the interest rate chart. Here, what did you have? You have the S&P 500 trading above Monday's high. Here again, you had the Nasdaq trading above and closing above Monday's high. Here, this would be hidden intermarket sequential activity where you had price closing below Monday's close. Or, here it would be Sunday's close, but whenever the market opens on Sunday, that is a part of the first quarter, right? As, we've discussed before. So here you have sequential SMT, in the intermarket sequential SMT between the interest rate triad and the S&P 500. But here, what do you have? You have the interest rate triad failing to break below a low. Here, you have it breaking above a high. So yes, this may seem confusing, but I did talk about this the last time, and we're going to talk about this again, right? So anytime you see, this type of price action, where you see price fail to break below a low, then you have price breaking above a high here, which is the highest high of this particular quarter, then you would expect them to just go in the opposite directions afterwards for the entirety of the, upcoming quarter. Here it would be Q2. Again, right? We have a failure swing within the interest rate triad. Here we have price breaking above, and it has to be above the highest high, right? Or, just above the, entirety of the specific quarter that you're referring to, which here it should be a partial SMT. It shouldn't just be SMT. It should be intermarket. It should be synced with time. How do you know? And, this is important as well. Before this, what I just talked about could bring about some confusion, which we will get into as we go along. No worries. It's just like exercising, right? When you exercise, when you lift weights, your muscles hurt, right? And after a while, obviously, for your muscles to get stronger, you have to tear them. You have to, destroy them to some extent. Right? It's the same thing with your mind, right? You have to stretch your, capability of, reasoning in regards to the markets, right? So here you can see this candle right here, which appeared after this close, right? Here we had what? Inter-market sequential SMT. Right here we had now here we had, well, yes, we did have inter-market sequential SMT here, but that's not what I'm referring to. So here we had, between these three assets, hidden sequential SMT. Price closed above this high. Here, price closed above this high. Here, price failed to close above this high. Right here, right? Right here is when we had the, when everything came together. Right? We never talked about this before. So this is the 1 hour time frame, and you would want to drop down to the 50-minute time frame after this, because within this wick right here, which occurred after this precision candle, this is a precision candle, right? This is an upwards candle. This is a downwards candle. This is a upwards candle. No, right? This is not a precision swing point. A precision swing point is a type of precision candle, right? But this is, just the raw, precision candle. So we had price trade above this high, price trade above this high, and here we had price trade above this high as well. On the 50-minute time frame, here, right, you can see that here at this candle was formed at 1800. That was the open of this candle. This candle as well, 1800. Open of this candle as well, it was 1800. Right, so whenever you're looking, to confirm, hidden sequential SMT, hidden inter-market sequential SMT, what do you use? You have to go down one cycle, and use the, the time frame that, refers to that cycle to confirm it. And you need a precision swing point, right? So this is the precision swing point right here. This is a precision swing point, right? This is the up close candle for the Nasdaq. This is the up close candle for the S&P 500. This is a down close candle for the Dow, right? And even then, right, we still had sequential SMT here on a lower time frame cycle, of course, but it was still here, right? We still had SMT here, right? And if you look across the other asset classes and compare them, you will see all the cracking correlations, right? As I, spoken about before, if you guys remember, right? And let me try to get all of these markings off. We expected price to, draw above this high, which it did, but barely, right? Which was not something that, no one can predict this right here. Price to just barely move above. It did draw above it around here, and we wanted to see price draw above it, but, no one can actually expect this. Right here, you can see that we expected that, but we actually had sequential SMT here, hidden sequential SMT and sequential SMT as well, right? Whereas we had here trading above this high, right? Price failing to trade above this high, and here we had this happen here as well, right? Whenever you see this down here, right, which occurs right here, whenever you have a quarter such as this, which, represents a monthly quarter, whereas you have the last, segment of time being quote unquote missing, right? Whenever you're, trying to, look at the monthly cycles, right, and you want to compare the weeks, you would omit, right, the first week of the month, and for example, just use the last 4 segments or the last 4 weeks, or just the last 4 segments here. Whereas you would have here, here, here. So there would be 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So it would look like this, if you understand what I'm trying to say. So here you can see that this would be counted as the high, price traded above this. Here it did not, right? And here it would be the highest high of this quarter. It did not trade above this one. Here, right, you can see that we had this fair value gap being left open, right? Whereas here, we had price trading into this fair value gap. So obviously you guys already know what this is. That's a SMT fill, right? Here you had price trading here into this fair value gap as well. SMT fill. Here, in the formation of this candle, which this is a precision candle, right? This is a up close candle. This is a down close candle. This is a up close candle, right? The formations of precision, as I've said before, it leads to reversals, expansion, explosive moves, right? Here we did not have any form of SMT, right? Which is why we had price just keep going in this direction. And this is, the main topic of today. Here, the main thing that we're looking at, right? So we can expect a reversal, right? As long as we get sequential SMT here. So, of course, we expect price to be gravitated to these lows, right? Or at least 1 or 2 of these lows, in respect to the interest futures, not the index futures, my bad. Yes, the index futures trades, right? So as long as we have sequential SMT, you already know what to look for afterwards. Yeah, you either look for, and I can't wait until I have enough time, right? Whereas, we can just be going about this live, day after day after day. Soon. Anyways, right? As long as we see sequential SMT, you already know what to do. I see all of your trades. It's amazing. You guys, posting on Twitter. You're posting everywhere. Some of you guys posting on YouTube. I don't care, right? If you post on YouTube, you post about it. It's okay, right? So, yes, right. As long as we see, first of all, one of these, fall below one of these lows, right? And the next one failed to do so. So this could happen in any order. It could be any asset. Any one of these assets could, play these roles, right? As long as this happens and there's a precision swing point here, which it could be either a 1-hour precision swing point. It could even be a 30-minute precision swing point, which is something that we have never talked about before, right? Or a 50-minute precision swing point, right? Which would be the lower cycle from the weekly cycle. It does not matter, right? As long as there's a correlation in that sequence, then we will be, we would find the low of the week. If that occurs, then we would expect NFP to just, continue in the direction of that SMT. right? And here you can see that we did close above this high right here for the S&P 500, right? And here we failed to close above this high, right? And of course, we did trade above here and failed trade above here, but I'm more focused on the closures than the wicks. And that's not to say that, at times the wicks don't, make sense. Of course they do. As long as there is a lower time frame sequential SMT or a lower time frame precision swing point. I hope that you guys found this useful today. I hope that you guys are, actually studying the model that I gave you guys the last time as well. But yes, we'll be back. You already know the rules, right? If we have high impact news event on Monday, we'll be back Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or an hour before the time or so. And if it's Tuesday that we have the next high impact news events, then we will be back Monday at set time. We will talk. Maybe just spend something, pay attention to it. GLGT.